It never work. It did not work. Till bad mind, it never work. Bad mind. Sorry to hurt your feelings, but I did not die. Yeah. Sorry to hurt your feelings. As you can see, I'm still alive.
Residents in Clifford St. Catherine watched in horror as one by one their homes were demolished. The demolition comes as part of the government's effort to reduce squatting. The land which is being cleared is part of the Bernard Lodge estate, which is deemed to be agricultural land. The government believes that persons with no legal ownership to the land illegally sold plots of lands to unsuspecting residents, some of whom have been occupying the land for over a decade. Of the 30 structures slated for demolition, 10 were completed today, most of them unoccupied and unfinished structures. Residents could be seen distraught and in tears after seeing their hard-earned money and sacrifices go down the drain. Now, I don't know how the rest of you feel about this situation, but I feel that it is quite inhumane that the government should wait until these ordinary residents have begged and borrowed and scrounged up as much money they can to build these structures only for the government to come in and demolish them. Where was the government when the foundations were being dug out? Where was the government when the blocks were being laid? Was there no local authority to come in and say to the people, you are encroaching on land that is not yours? You are erecting permanent structure on a land that does not belong to you? Be forewarned that the government will come in and demolish your structure. Where were they? I find this to be very, very cruel. Home ownership in Jamaica is so hard to come by. Some people pay into NHT for years, and when they are ready to get a home, NHT says, well, you didn't pay enough. We didn't collect enough from you, so you don't qualify. And then people go ahead and they purchase land that they're not even aware they're purchasing illegally, or they just decide to just take a plot of land and call it their own and build something on it, hoping that the rightful owner will have some mercy on them and say, well, you know what, you have already lived here, you have already erected a permanent structure, I'm just going to leave it to you, or you pay me, or whatever the case may be. But for the government to not have in place adequate services for Jamaicans to acquire land to build their home, it is an utter disgrace. And then when your grandparents leave a little piece of land for you, the government comes in and wants to tax it from right under you, especially if it's in a prime area. Now, since the demolition about a week ago, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern, Fitz Jackson, says there is a probe into the demolition of the structures because he claims that people with documents showing that they were given approval by the authorities to be on sections of the Bernard Lodge property have now come forward. It was only a day prior that Prime Minister Andrew Holness served notice that structures constructed illegally on lands reportedly captured and sold by gangsters in that area were to be destroyed. According to the Prime Minister, gangsters have captured the lands in proximity to Clifton and have been preying on residents. Some residents had spent millions to construct their homes and had their letters of possession to be in the area. Holness said lands which fall within the government's Greater Bernard Lodge development plan will be formalized and owners given titles. He made the statement while raising concern that criminals have captured a section designated for agriculture. So while the government fiddles its thumb in determining what areas were slated for agriculture and what areas weren't, and where the criminals are and where they aren't, several residents are left to pick up the pieces. We will continue to follow this story, and when we get more information, we'll be sure to bring it to you. That's going to be it for me for today, my friends. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters.
There's more to see than can ever be